And what's up, everybody? Episode 148 about to get started here. But first, as we always like to, we got to give a huge shout out to our Patreon subscribers. Thank you to Tony, Starla, Sam, Luke, Jacob, and Tyler. Again, you guys are the engine to all in the delivery. You guys are the engine that makes this machine run. We appreciate you guys so much. Guys, today on the schedule, whenever you're listening, today on the schedule, we're talking about Luke's run-in with a thirsty woman. We're also talking about how Homeward Bound couldn't get made to this day and age. I mean, think about this. Also, the biggest girl Luke has ever seen. He's got a story about this one. All this happened in the past week since we last recorded. So, guys, it's going to be a fun one. Also, my run-in with Texas Roadhouse, just absolutely shitting the bed on us. We got a fun one. Oh, and the question of the week, is it the Muppets or is it Sesame Street? Who would win in a street fight? Guys, this is going to be a fun one. Let's get this one underway. Here we go. We got to this one address. I said, this one goes around back. He went around back, drove off, left them right at the stop.
That was after getting hit by a car.
You got hit by a car?
I ended up drinking 24 Bud Lights in about 48 minutes. Drunken Nomad stumbles out in the road and he hit me going 30 miles an hour.
What's up, everybody, and thank you for joining us on another episode of All in the Delivery. This is episode 148. Oh, boy, we got a fun one here for you guys. We're excited for this one. We're excited for everyone, to be honest. But, just another week's gone by, another week. Here we are doing it again, and we get to have a good time. So, hope you guys enjoy this one. So let me go around the table, shall we? Introduce to you guys my co-host. You know him down in West Virginia.
Fuck.
Luke, how are you, buddy? How was your week?
Dude, it was today as we record, today was probably one of my easier days, but it wasn't, I mean, the intro, I'm sure has people very curious, and we'll get to that. But work-wise, we had some delays, and trailers hadn't been coming. So really this week for me wasn't that bad, except for Thursday. It was Thursday. I had almost a 12-hour day. It was like 11. I was probably at about 11 hours and 58 minutes or something around that. So yeah, just about a 12-hour banger. But as we record tonight, we finished strong, and yeah, man, I'm doing good. Ready to get. It's kind of fucking crazy how this episode kind of came together. How I mean, we put stuff in the docs. Dave has it, like he said with the intro, but man, it's just stuff that I mean, you talk about falling in your lap. I can't wait to hear this Texas Roadhouse story. So I'm just gonna go ahead and say, my week was a little long, but I'm glad it's over. I've got one more to go and I'm on vacation, but I am good, brother.
Hell yes. Hell yeah, man. Yeah, though, dude, those 12-hour days, I had two of them back to back this past week. I had one on Wednesday, and that was a long one. I got back just slightly after 8:00. And our air car leaves at like 7:45 for the airport. So I got back like a little after 8, and then that following day, my neighboring route had an 8-hour request, and then that one kind of screwed me a little bit in the long run. And that time I got back about 8:20, I would say. And so it is what it is. That's why we get paid by the hour. That's why we get paid OT, anything over 8 hours, is for those reasons, because shit happens and every driver works their asses off. So, fucking, it is what it is, but here we are. We made it through it. Another week gone by, and another week here talking to each other on the podcast. So,
I also want to say too, because I said it in the Discord chat, but I want to say this for the people that were listening to the last episode. When I finally re-listened to it, and shout out to that dude Luke, because he actually called it. He's like, we'll be listening to the episode and be like, oh, that's what he was talking about.
Yeah.
I want to give a shout out to a retired driver, my mentor, Doug, aka Disgruntled Doug. It was, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it. So I want to make sure to make that perfectly clear. I'm glad that he got this honor, but there's something up with the Circle of Honor numbers. There's got to be a catch, because I know for a fact, because I was there, or coming to be there, and had to not work that day or help that day because he had gotten in an accident. That would have been like,
right.
That was probably like 8 years before he retired. So that obviously wasn't 20. You know what I mean? So there must be a catch. I'm just going to say that. But that's what the old, if you were wondering what that cliffhanger was, that's what it was. It was about the Circle of Honor driver. That's what I said. I said I was going to throw him under the bus, but no, he. It's funny because, to go back real quick to my week when I had that 12-hour day, I had the area that his route used to have residentially, and that's also where he lives. I didn't see him. But just going back and delivering that always takes me back, because I was like 2008, 2009, like that 2010, I was with him too. So it's been a while, but like that was just like, in 2008, I was at the tail end of my, at Fairmont State, and it was my last semester of college. So it's just like, I just think back at times and just laughing with him, not only with him, but like just me. I remember there would be times I'd be like hustling too, because it was Friday night and I was about to go party somewhere, and I was like, God, how the times have changed. But I still, now if they give me that area anymore, if I see his ass again, aside from that story that I told on last week's episode, I'm going to make sure to, we're going to get him on here. I swear the momentum's coming again. He's getting brought up. We got to do it. But anyways, I just wanted to throw that in there to complete that from last week's episode.
To make up for last week. Totally. Yeah. And then, so I had those 2 12 hours back to back, Wednesday and Thursday, or Wednesday and Tuesday, and Wednesday. And then Thursday was a normal day, thank God. And then Friday, as we're recording this here, Friday, April 25th, I ended up having a personal day off. Had to schedule a day off, so I get the 3-day weekend this week. And so we didn't really have this like plan. So where we live, there's a town called Poughkeepsie. And in the city of Poughkeepsie down there, there's the main drag. There's all these shopping malls. There's all these food restaurant places. And where my youngest Grant goes to daycare is right across the bridge from Poughkeepsie. It's right across the Hudson River. And so, my wife and I, we were both home. She was working from home today. And we were like, I kind of need to go to the mall over there because the Dick's Sporting Goods store has one of the new bats that I wanted to get for the softball season. Then the Dick's Sporting Goods up in here where I lived, they didn't have it in stock. So I was like, we're going to be right across the bridge from Poughkeepsie, picking up Grant. Like, why don't we go over there? And for some reason, my son, Grant, is obsessed with Texas Roadhouse. And I'll tell you the reason why. It's because all the Texas Roadhouse have is those little tablet things that sit on every single table, and they have games on them.
Oh, yeah.
So he went one time and was like, this is great. I get to sit here at this table, this cool place, and play games on this tablet.
Games.
You know,
Mhm.
so like, he's been like obsessed with it basically ever since then. You know, the little kid's brain is just games and having fun, obviously.
Right.
So then like I was talking to my wife. I was like, we could pick up Grant and then we could go to the Dick's Sporting Goods store over there in Poughkeepsie, and then Texas Roadhouse. Poughkeepsie also has a Texas Roadhouse. It's about a half-hour drive from us, and so it's like, oh yeah, we'll do all that. We'll just stay over there in Poughkeepsie and we'll make an evening of it. But this evening turned into a night of it. And what ended up happening was, we went to the mall where the Dick's Sporting Goods store is. I got my bat, got a pair of new batting gloves for the season, everything I needed. Because my old bat had a dent in it. My batting gloves I've had for like 6 years probably. Finally, we're all ripping up and shit like down the side.
See,
so it
you're
was just
knocking
time
the fuck out of that ball so much, you got a dent in your bat.
Fucking right, bud.
I did. I love it.
So hitting dingers. So, I got what I needed, and then we were like, all right, let's go to Texas Roadhouse. There was like a 20-minute wait, and we're sitting outside waiting, all right? The boys are getting a little antsy, obviously, like kids do, staying in one spot for a long time. And finally, we get let in, and, we're in, they're going to seat us down, or they're going to sit us down at a table, take us to our seats, and we're sitting there, and then, the woman's like, all right, your waitress will be right with you. All right, cool. Waitress comes like 2 minutes later. All right. It was like, oh, yeah, can I start you guys off with something to drink? And, my wife and I, the kids, we all order our drinks. 10 minutes goes by. Okay. And we get our drinks now. And, okay, have you guys looked at the menu? Do you guys know what you want to eat? And first I put in an appetizer for like some like buffalo chicken wings because I fucking love buffalo wings. So I put in an order for some buffalo wings, and then I lost my train of thought. And then we ended up
order buffalo wings.
Yes, we got the order of buffalo wings in,
okay.
And she was like, all right, now what else would you guys like for your meals? We order the meals, and she leaves. And then probably about 15 minutes goes by. And then she comes back. No food yet. Okay? No food yet. And she's like, yeah, they're still working on it, yada yada yada. And they have their rolls with the cinnamon butter, which is fucking delicious. The cinnamon butter is banging at Texas Roadhouse. And so,
dude, that cinnamon butter is legit. Sorry, I didn't want to interrupt 100%. You, but I had it 100%. Recently. Fuck, I forgot.
Oh, so tasty.
It's so good.
So tasty. And so our food's not ready yet, but she's like, would you guys like more rolls? And my wife before that was just like, if you want to get like a drink, Dave, like I can drive home, and it was a long day, and then waiting outside for 20 minutes, and the kids are just like getting antsy. I was like, yeah, I'll definitely take a drink. So then, I ended up getting a drink, and even that took a while to get now. Okay. Here it is.
Of course it did.
We sat there at our tables for about 45 minutes until we got our food. 45 minutes. Now listen, if John Taffer was in that place, he'd be off the fucking wall. That man would be like, shut it down. Like he'd be pissed. 45 minutes. All right. Now, I'm about halfway through my drink, the alcoholic drink by this time, and I'm starting to feel it. And I can my sons especially Xander was just like, I'm so hungry. Like, where's the food? We gotta go talk to a manager, Dad. Like he's like in my ear, and like I said, I'm already halfway through this drink. I haven't eaten anything, so I'm feeling the drink, at that moment. And I was just like, and I looked up at my wife, and she has this face on, just like ready to fucking kill someone. Like this is fucking ridiculous, which it is. And now here's the kicker, right? The family, we sat down, ordered. The family to the left behind us sat down after us, placed the order after us, got their food before us, and finished their food before we even had ours at our table.
Damn.
So at that point, I was starting to steam. You know what I mean? I was starting to get mad, and I hate being that guy. I used to work in retail. I used to deal with customers. And I mean, we still deal with customers, but like I used to work in retail, where it's like
where you really you can't like escape. We can run or drive away now.
You can drive away.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
and so like I hate being that guy. I never want, like, no, I don't think anybody really wants to be that guy, but there's some people that just don't give a fuck and they'll be that guy. But I usually don't be that guy. And I had to be that guy. You know, like this was getting ridiculous. It was already past my kids' bedtime. Yo, my kids go to bed at like 7:30, 8 o'clock. Like they are on the dime. Good night, out cold. It's like 8:30 now, and we haven't even got our food yet. And we're just like, what the fuck? And so eventually our food comes, right? Our food finally gets here. I mean, what was so funny was I was just about to get up and look for someone, and like a manager. You know what I mean? I was just about to, and then the waitress comes with our food. So I just sat back down. I was like, all right. Well, guess who comes around table to table asking, how's everything tonight? How's everything tonight? The manager.
Yeah.
So I was like, well,
God.
Here's my chance. Here's my chance. And he comes to our table and he said, hey guys, how's the food? I picked up my drink. Well, sir, I said, the food's great and all. I said, but I'm going to be honest with you. And I said, I'm not usually this guy. And I said, the food was great and all, but we literally watched families come, get their food, and go after we ordered our food and still have not received our food. I said, we've been sitting here for a little over an hour now, just got our food. I said, I understand it's busy as all heck in here right now, but watching a family come, get their food, and then leave before even us getting ours, I said, that's a bit crazy. And the guy was very understanding. He was very apologetic about it. He ended up comping like $15 off the bill. Thanks. Appreciate it. Any little bit you can do. But needless to say, never going fucking to Texas Roadhouse again. I told my son, you can bring your fucking phone with you wherever you want. You could have a tablet at the table anytime you want when we go out now, anywhere. We don't have to go to Texas Roadhouse for these tablet things. Like, I'm never going again.
When you had texted me, I started thinking, because I know your boys go to bed. I know they go to bed earlier. And when you had texted me, I know it was like, because this was like after 8 o'clock, and I was like,
it was like 8:15, I think.
I was sitting there thinking like, damn. I was thinking, nah, his kids aren't with him, maybe. But then I was like, no. I was like, maybe they are. And then I thought, man,
we were a half hour from our house still.
Oh,
we still had to drive home, bro.
Like,
yeah, dude.
I was like, dude, because that's the thing, dude. To have to wait that long is a pain in the ass. Having to wait that long with two young kids makes it like, but this is the thing I was going to say. But after you said the thing with the other people coming and getting their food and literally being done before you, like, that would be like, because Ashley, Ashley worked at, she worked at Applebee's for a long time. And then she bartended at Applebee's and then worked at different places, but she worked in the food industry and she served and did everything. And she opened my eyes to a lot of things. So I know, like, I'd really try to give them the benefit of the doubt. And like you saying, you working in retail, but dude,
yes.
the wait is one thing. But when you see people come after you, that's when it's you can't not. Like, I would be the same way. When I saw that,
that's when I was like, okay,
because you're like, you don't, like you said, you don't want to be that guy. I would never want to be that fucking guy. I try but that's also the good thing if we are out, because Ashley being in that industry for so long. Like shit, she's talked it like she does it better than I would. Not be like an asshole, but I wouldn't be probably able to word it right anyway, and I'd probably come off like an asshole because there's a lot of people that
That's what I tried so hard not to do. I tried so hard not to come off on it. I was like, listen, I'm usually not this guy. I stayed calm. I wasn't like this is insane. You know what I mean? Like I wasn't like one of those angry guys. Like I literally kept it calm with the manager guy, and I was like, listen,
waiting.
Yeah, but
no,
needless to say, the end of that was I'm never going to Texas Roadhouse again. I'm sorry, Texas Roadhouse, you lost me, guys. Fucking lost me. That's it. And like what sucks too is like the first time Danielle went with the boys, it was some like school thing for like Xander's thing. It was like you go there and like whatever 25% of the bill or some shit, or it was some percentage of the bill was going to like some school thing there, like locally, you know? And like when Danielle went with the boys for that night, for like that school night thing at Texas Roadhouse, she got there before me because this was right in the middle of winter time for peak and shit like that. So I was obviously late. But when she showed up, she had to wait outside, or not outside, but she had to wait for like a half hour to like get their seat. So like they're just always hopping. Like I just don't get it. They're always hopping. There's always a wait at those fucking places.
Well, that was the last time. I hadn't been to Texas Roadhouse in fucking years, but recently, last fall, I took. We went up. It was he would have been my uncle. It was my stepmother's brother. They had a memorial service for him, and I drove my dad and my sister, nephew, and her up. My stepmother to. It was in a place in Pennsylvania, but anyways, on the way home, we stopped at Texas Roadhouse, and dude, that cinnamon butter though, just to try to end it on a good note for him, I will say, I don't think I had it because it was Texas Roadhouse that used to be able to throw peanuts, and they had peanuts and shit, right? You could just throw them on the floor.
There's still peanut shells all over the floor.
Oh, is it still like that? Because that one I was in didn't have the peanuts, and I was kind of like, "What the fuck is this?" But
that's odd.
My grandmother and great grandmother, man, my great grandmother when she was still alive, she was so appalled by that shit, dude. I remember we went to Texas Roadhouse when I was a kid,
especially like allergies. My great grandmother.
Yeah, right. Oh my god, I didn't even think of that. Be like walking into a fucking landmine. Holy shit.
Of just allerginess.
Yeah. Fuck me. Fuck. He probably could, use some water.
I know.
I was trying to figure out a way to transition into this next story.
It's just the bottom line is I am never going to Texas Roadhouse again. That's the end of my boom. Done. End of that one. But all right. Let's transition, shall we? Let's transition here. So yeah, this was for some reason Luke decided to wait till like the end of the week to tell us the story on the phone.
Well,
and this was the woman that was she was thirsty. She was thirsty. She was.
This was I wasn't like this is bad because I felt bad. I felt bad about this. I really did because I can't. I'm not going to be able to do the impression full on because I'm going to try, but so
I'm going to go off screen so you don't see me laughing.
I have this. I have this back road that I will loop back around. So when I have some of my scattered areas, sometimes I take this road that loops around, and it's literally on the neighboring UPS center. There, it's not even anything we have in our area. It's kind of weird because it's right at the cutoff. But this road is a very, very remote road, and it's not like it lasts for 10 fucking miles or anything. I'm trying to make myself feel better, but but it's very. I probably came across 3 cars with this. Like I don't fucking. There's houses, some there, but they're back. There's just a lot of space and a lot of fucking wilderness in between. You don't see people fucking just trotting down the fucking road, and it's this woman that has this backpack on, and she fucking I couldn't tell like what was up. Then I could clearly see she was like drugged out because her eyes were all fucking wild. She was just like, "Hey, I need you got water." Fucking literally had nothing, and I was like, I said, "No, I had a fucking empty energy drink can." She's like, "Yeah, I need a ride," and I was just like. Split second, I said, "I'm sorry, I can't help you," and I fucking drove off. And
fuck.
I mean, and I mean, so it was so dry that I fucking take off, and it's a fucking bowl of dust behind me. So I felt so bad, but I just like in a split second decision though. I was like, she wasn't like hysterical or panicky. She was fucked up. And I was like, I can't. And the only reason I ran like instantly in my head, I thought of Willow. And I was like, I can't fucking, because I was like, what the fuck would I do? Because this road's not like forever. It's like, it's about 3 miles. So I was like, what am I thinking? Like in my mind, I'm kind of wondering and I'm going, if I would have given her a ride back to town, how the fuck this person was all drugged out and shit in kind of the middle of nowhere. What the fuck was like? I kept thinking, I was like, if I would have lost my job for fucking like trying to, because I was like, I don't know if I would have been able to get her out of the fucking truck. I would have had to shove her out or something if she was being fucking, or call the cops and then be like, then have to explain, like, well, why'd you pick him up? So I literally just drove off, and I mean, I floored it. And I felt bad because I was like, man, I just like, when you think it's situation, like, I'm like, I hope they weren't running away from a dangerous situation, but I couldn't, split second decision, man. And it felt like I was in Walking Dead or The Last of Us, just getting approached, and I'd have no fucking idea where they came from. And there's houses that are on that road, but they're kind of back and but I don't know. I have no fucking clue.
Like it would have been different if like you recognized the person and like it was like a customer that was like walking. You know what I mean? But like
it wasn't that
no
warm
idea
either.
who this person was.
I have no fucking clue. It doesn't matter. Like, and this is, but
I know you can't be loud right now, but like she was. When you were explaining it to
it was
Nate and
so like it was like I basically said, for anybody that's watched Dumb and Dumber and you've seen Jim Carrey when he says, "Do you want to hear the most annoying sound of the world?" and he makes that noise. That was basically kind of how she was fucking talking, but was like, and I didn't have any water. If I would have had water, I would have given it to her. But it was not like
I don't get water, but I have a piss bottle. Get out of here. Here's a piss.
I feel like to do the dust. I felt so bad, man. But I'm like, I couldn't risk. I mean, it was telling it was way funnier because I started thinking about it. But yeah, drugged out just in the middle. Who knows where the fuck they came from? But it was just Jim Carrey voice and his fucking getting water, and it sounded like they had like it was like Jim Carrey that noise with somebody with a laryngectomy with that thing holding up, and man, that
oh fuck
yeah, that I thought that was going to be the most mind blowing thing that I saw.
But wait, there's more.
There is more, and unfortunately for that crazy drugged out person just like walking down the road, I don't have cell service in that spot. Like I have no cell service right there. So that was another thing. Like I had those things running through my head too. I was like, I can't call like somebody, because if I could I'll say, but just the whole approach, man. It just, I don't like to think that I wouldn't, like, if somebody was but they're just, what the fuck are they, like, who knows how they got out there? Who
knows what they were on?
They were fucked. They were fucked up, dude. Their pupils were fucking, like, it was, oh yeah, it was bad. But I can't be on the phone for that, but I was on the phone for this next one, and Dave and Nate were on the phone, so I go to I have this stop that I don't even know. This was a mind-blowing fucking...
Hold on. Let me just tell you guys, before Luke tells the story, on our end of the phone, all I heard was, how's my tan? Or something. It was something along those lines.
She asked if her back was sunburnt, if her back was getting sunburnt. That's what it was.
Oh, okay, yeah. And then like I was like, did she just ask Luke to like check out her suntan? Like that's what I thought in my head, and that's all we heard. We didn't hear anything else. But go ahead, Luke. Lay it out.
Well, so lay it out. What a fucking word to use. So I'm walking up. So on this was yesterday. If this was yesterday, because this is when I had my long ass night.
It was yesterday,
and I so there's an apartment complex. It's not really like they have there's no stairs really. There's a top row of apartments in beneath. It's like it's the incline, and then there's a bottom apartments down below. So they're kind of like all in a straight line. And so it was nice out. There was a guy walking his dog. There was another dude had a motorcycle, was fucking washing it. And there's this woman sunbathing, laying like stomach first. And
topless.
She could have been topless. She was definitely in a two-piece. I can say topless because I like trying to think back. I think she had something on. It was just not visible.
It was,
but it was because I started thinking. I started thinking like it was just a string of some kind. Like it was skimpy, but this woman probably weighed like 400 pounds and didn't give two fucks. And good for her, because this is a different day and age where she don't give, her confidence is up, man, and she don't give two shits, and more power to her. But I'm telling you right now, I was fucking taken back. And this is coming from somebody that, you know, I've been married for a long time. I've been with Ashley we've been together now. This will be year 13. But, you know, prior to us being together, I'll just say, yeah, I'd slept with some plus size women in the past. So for me to say I was literally taken the fuck back, I couldn't believe it. Like, she was so like, I hate to say this because I'm not like, I admire her fucking confidence, but she was so big that like her stomach was on the sides of like a certain, like a ways away from her torso. And I just never seen, I'm not like, I've never seen a woman that size with that little amount of clothing on. And so she asked me if her back was she was laying in front of the apartment that I thought I had a delivery to. So I asked her if she was apartment 103, She said she was 104. I said, okay. She told me that they were home. I said, okay, great. I'm just going to bring the doorbell and leave it here. And she asked if her back was sunburnt. Then I kind of said, that's what Dave and Nate heard on the phone. So I got these fucking guys on the phone, and I'm trying, like, I can't speak. I can't tell them what I'm right in front of this woman. I can't fucking sit there and say, I've never seen anything like this. And so, I try to I'm like, no, you're good. And then I'm walking away, and I said, I know I sunburn. I'm real pale. And I walked off like I'm trying to be like friendly.
Hold on.
But
hold on. You didn't say you're pale. You said, I'm kind of like a vampire out here.
I'm kind of like a vampire. Yeah, okay. I said I'm kind of like a vampire out here.
Fuck.
Like you used vampire as a word to escape that situation. Because you were like, I need to get the fuck out of here.
I don't want to, dude. It was,
Shit.
I was nice as could be and I admire, dude. Good. I can't.
You kept it very professional. You kept it very
hell
professional.
Yeah, man. I admired that she was fucking. She had the balls to do it because, dude, I'm telling you right now. I'm not going to be sunbathing no matter how good a shape I'm in because I am a fucking vampire.
Especially out there in front of the fucking apartment building.
Yeah, not giving a shit, dude. I'm like, there's
kids.
There are kids. I know there's kids like that. Some of the people have kids that would have to like. But man, she. I just like I had to when we were talking about it because I was telling Ashley about it because I said I don't know how to exactly go about how to tell this story, and I was trying to revision it in my head. How like walking through it, and she definitely I thought she was topless, but she had like she had like hidden? A black string around her neck. Yeah, it could have been a necklace, I guess, but I thought it might be a baby. Like I can't see her being top. Like I said, dude, there's fucking kids there, so I think she had a top on. It just wasn't there, man. But till 2025, if you want to lay out and suntan, no matter what size you are, go the fuck ahead. I applaud you. I just wasn't ready, and like I said, I'm. This is somebody's season. I mean, I'm a big dude. I'm a big guy too, so that's why I'm not little. I'm fucking 255, 260, and I'm like not that. So I don't get rattled, but dude, I was just like I couldn't. I don't know if I said anything even approaching like with you guys being on the phone. I just was. I was kind of
like,
taken
are you
back.
episode? Are you apartment 103?
Yeah, so I didn't say anything. I was curious. Yeah, I probably did because I don't know if I was going to be able to. But yeah, those were two encounters, very, very different from one another. But that one was fucking funny because I was like, they're just fucking chilling. And I think the first one is funny too, but it just makes me like, I'm like, what the fuck were they doing out in the middle of nowhere?
Like that's two very unique situations in 1 week.
Yeah, that shit doesn't happen every day.
Maybe once a month, if that. You got twice in 1 week.
I've never seen anybody walking down. I've been on that route now for years, and I've never seen somebody just fucking randomly. And I've been in life for 40 years, and I've never seen somebody that size, that nude. And hopefully she didn't get sunburnt.
That's a way to end it. Oh fuck. God. So me having the day. Oh fuck. All right. I'm good. So me having the day off today, and you at work, we had a little conversation because I was outside doing some work this afternoon. And
Yes.
I don't even know how we came up on Homeward Bound. Do you remember?
I was talking about a show that was out when I was a kid, or when we would have been kids,
The
about
talking
a
dog?
dog. Yeah, the dog that traveled and didn't. It wasn't like a time traveling show, but it was like a show that would talk about, like, it would just go back in history times and stuff. It wasn't.
So
It was
we
a
were
kid
talking
show.
about talking
That's what we were
animals.
doing. But
And
yes.
then you compared it to the way Homeward Bound is. And then we
Yeah, because
got
I said
into
it wasn't like, yes, because I said it wasn't like a CG. Well, there wasn't CGI back then, but it wasn't a cartoon. It was a real life, but it was like a dog. I was like, they talked like the dog didn't actually speak. It just had a voice to it, like Homeward Bound.
like
And
Homeward
that got
Bound.
us,
Right.
yeah, then that got us down that road.
So that got us on Homeward Bound. Which, I mean, A+ movie.
Great movie.
Totally. Fucking classic. Absolutely classic. Classic movie.
Anybody around our age cried at Homeward Bound at the end.
Oh my
and
God.
you didn't have a fucking pulse if you didn't. There's no way.
If you didn't cry, you don't have a soul. Like that's how it goes. So what got you thinking about why Homeward Bound wouldn't be able to be made?
So, as
This
you
time of
know, and to the
This day and
audience out there in all the nation, you well, I don't know how much we bring it up on the podcast. I know we bring it up from time to time, but we always bring up like movies. We'll always talk about movies that wouldn't be able to get made today, like as they were. Like, we've brought up, movies like Tropic Thunder and shit like that, or whatever. And so I said, holy shit, dude, Homeward Bound wouldn't be able to be made today as it was back then, because we couldn't remember. Shadow was the golden retriever. Chance was the dog.
Yes. Shadow's the golden retriever. Chance was the pit bull mix. It looks like he looks like he's a pit bull mix.
And the cat's name was what?
Sassy,
that's right. God, I could not remember that for the life of me today. So
Sassy.
I started telling Dave that it's like, dude, they would get sued today because that scene in the movie where fucking Sassy gets fucking falls off the tree limb into the fucking raging rapids river.
Like, that's a legitimate cat back in '93 when this film was released. Like, that's a legitimate cat in this raging river. Like, that's no CGI at that time. Not a chance.
So they're shooting movie scenes. They're shooting movie scenes with fucking Sassy the cat fucking going down this white rapid fucking river. And if you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And so we were like, dude, PETA would sue their ass so fucking fast now.
They probably had like 3 backup Sassies just in case one didn't make it. Like,
yeah, that's what we said. They had backups ready to go.
Sorry, give me more cosplay. I know we're talking about cats and dangerous situations right now in your love for cats, but it's just like,
well,
they had
Sassy
They had to have had backup Sassies. They had to have.
I
wonder if they lost one, and they just never told anybody.
Yeah, because we never would know, because there wasn't. See, that's what would happen now. Somebody would have got that on their phone and been like, dude, they just killed a cat, fucked up a movie scene.
Fucking goes off the waterfall. Like,
Sassy fucking lived in the movie, though. So they obviously had, or it makes you wonder holy shit, I didn't think about this when we were talking about it on the phone, but just think if they recorded that scene of Sassy in the fucking river last. So it didn't matter.
Fuck.
There was some cold-blooded motherfuckers back then, dude.
Yeah.
But listen,
they were like, listen, if the cat survives, we write it as the cat survives. If the cat doesn't, we write it as the cat doesn't survive.
Or they just
imagine if the narrative changed.
I just say they literally saved that last take, and they were like, okay, we completed the whole movie. They already did the ending. They're like, okay, we'll just shoot this in case this thing dies. Put it in the raging rapids, and we'll scoop it out with a big net. Shit's
they had
fucked up.
alternate endings. So if the cat didn't survive, they would write it that way.
God, dude. See, you imagine if Homeward Bound had an alternate ending, Shadow not showing up. They already fucking.
Oh, come
There's
on.
so many movies. There's so many movies from back in the day that fucking ruined childhoods. The Never-Ending Story, that fucking horse drowning in the quicksand. Jesus, there's so many fucking kids movies back then. They just shattered our fucking emotions with.
Fucking
So yeah, at least
Yeller.
they didn't do it with Homeward Bound, but yeah, right, like Old Yeller.
God damn it.
Fucking yeah, Homeward Bound would be, but that would, like, you know, now it will all be animated probably. But dude, they can do it like the Lion King movie. Jesus, that's animated, but that looks real as fuck.
God,
It's crazy, dude.
Dude, yeah.
There's so many there's so many movies.
Yo, let me tell you something. Watching Lion King growing up, it was like, man, like that sucks. Simba's dad died. But like being a father now and knowing, like, you think about what it would be like if your kid had to go through that, like watching their father die, it hits you differently.
Oh, it does,
Fuck.
dude. It does. It's
All
fucking that shit. There's a lot of shit. There's a lot of kids movies from our era that hit different as a parent, dude. And it's 100%.
I mean, dude, shout out to Michael J. Fox though. You knew Michael J. Fox was the voice of Chance, right? In Homeward Bound. God,
Michael J. Fox was Chance's voice. Yeah.
Yeah. God, dude. Shout out to that guy. Man. He made so many good movies back then.
Dude, Michael J.
Poor
Fox
guy.
was. I know, dude. I'll see him. He's because they had a reunion, like a back. I don't know if it was a Comic-Con thing or what I would have been a Comic-Con thing. It was just a Back to the Future reunion of Christopher Lloyd, Michael J. Fox, that I forget their real names. The guy that played Biff and Lorraine, his mom, and dude, it's crazy because Christopher Lloyd has aged pretty fucking well. I feel like but yeah, Michael J. It sucks, dude. It sucks that fucking, is it Parkinson's he has?
Yeah, bad.
Yeah.
He's got it bad.
Yeah, dude. He had some bangers in his day, man. He was a
fucking right.
Back to the Future, though, is one of those movies, especially 1 and 2, but definitely the first one. The third one I liked, but I didn't. The first
even
two
had the
were
one
my
TV
favorites.
show too.
Oh shit, he did.
What was it? It wasn't Mad About You. No,
No, it wasn't.
that was Helen Hunt, right? God, what was? Damn it, dude! I grew up watching that shit in the early '90s. Anyways, that's terrible podcasting. Question of the week.
That's all right.
Let's get into the question of the week here, huh? This one's gonna be fun. All right. I don't even know what made me think about this, but I was like, "Yo, Luke, I got a question of the week this week." He said, "Okay, Dave, what is it?" I said, "Sesame Street and the Muppets. Who would win in a street fight?" Like, there's so many different ways it could go. And you think about all the different characters, the characters that played in the Muppets, the characters that played in Sesame Street. Which one would win in a street fight with their gang? So, let's see what All In Nation had to say, shall we? The question of the week, as I worded it, as I just explained it, is... who would win in a street fight and why? Is it the Muppets or Sesame Street? All right, here we go. This one is from... I feel like we should write this down on like tallies and see who wins. Do you have a pen near you, Luke? Or should I find one?
Yeah, I don't
Should
have
tally this
one.
up I should have tallied this up beforehand. All right, so let's go. I got one.
We
Let's go
don't
with
need
Sesame
a pen. I'll
Street
count it
and the
on my hand.
Muppets. Okay. This one is from Girl Dad 8704.
Isn't that great?
He says Ernie obviously wins. Obviously. Ernie will win. All right?
Ernie Martinez, aka
incredible.
Girl Dad.
So that's
that
one
was
dash
so good.
for Sesame Street. This one here is from Hilly on the Go. Hilly Gus says, the Muppets take it, but it's a brutal fight. Animal and Miss Piggy alone tip the scale. They're straight up brawlers. Sesame Street's got size and trickery, but not the same raw, chaotic energy. Kermit runs tactics. Piggy throws bombs. And Animal goes feral. Sesame puts up a solid fight, especially with Big Bird and Oscar going full street mode. But in the end, winner? The Muppets, because no one out-weirds chaos. Dun, 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 dun.
Well
Dude,
said.
I love how much thought John put into that.
Damn,
so
very
great.
well said, brother.
Fucking great. Right now it's 1-1. Here we go. This one is from Works All Night, says the Muppets, because they got Animal. My favorite Muppet, obviously being a drummer, my favorite Muppet was Animal.
Right in your wheelhouse.
Fucking eat cymbals for lunch. This one here is from where am I? This one here is from Brad Moser. B-Rad Mo says, the Muppets. There isn't one single Sesame Street character that isn't a total bitch. Muppets have Animal. Done. It's over. Animal is getting all of the love. This one here is from Jake Lee Bowden, says, the Muppets. And why? Animal! I fucking love this. I haven't read these yet. This is all surprising to me. Here we go. This one here is from last week's episode guest, that dude Luke and me, says, the Muppets. Some of them spent time in prison, and pretty sure Gonzo knows martial arts.
Dude,
boy,
I forgot about
Muppets,
Gonzo.
baby.
Fucking
Here we go.
Muppets are in a landslide.
Old beer botted bastard says, Muppets hands down. They have Animal to start. I fucking love this. Plus, they have the Swedish chef to cook what's left.
Nice.
That's the Muppet.
That was pretty good. Yeah.
Thank you very much. That's the Swedish chef. This one is from TMI _podcast. Yo, go check them out. That's past guest of the show, former UPSer Jeffrey Chandler. Go check out his podcast, TMI. This one's from TMI _podcast. Says, Big Bird and Snuffleupagus would kick Kermit's ass. Unfortunately, this would send Miss Piggy into a wild frenzy, and she would mop up Sesame Street with the bloodied remains of Oscar and Elmo. Muppets for the win. Another one for Muppets. Muppets taking over. This one here is from the News Beast, says, since our nutty politicians have labeled Sesame Street as communist, I'm going with the Muppets. Let Animal loose on all those pinko commie bastards. Boy.
Dude, Animal is fucking... Dude, Animal is
That's
fucking
8
taking
Muppets
this thing.
to one Sesame Street.
I did. Dude, I know people with Animal. I still think if there's a way to make them mean, because Brad Moser's right. He's fucking right, dude. They're all, I feel like if there's a way to make them mean and pissed off, I just feel like, I still think the size of Big Bird would just be a major problem, dude. I feel like Big Bird would be like 1-1 from Game of Thrones, the giant that broke down the door, that got his eye shot out, dude. I feel like he could make that big of a difference if used right. So I don't know, dude. After like, Cookie Monster is a Muppet, right? Oscar the Grouch is a Muppet.
Cookie Monster is Sesame Street.
Okay. Oscar the Grouch is Sesame Street,
Oscar the
too.
Grouch is also Sesame Street.
See, I feel like Cookie Monster could possibly...
Cookie Monster's got that same level as Animal.
Yeah.
Where he gets angry.
I feel like they could neutralize
Oscar's
each other.
just like disgruntled Doug. You know what I mean?
Living in a trash can. Oh, Doug, I love you, brother. I fucking.
I don't even know the guy. Poor guy.
Doug is not living in a trash can. Doug's got a very nice house.
But like, just like he's grouchy. He's disgruntled.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, like Cookie Monster, I feel like has that. I don't know. No. Okay. All right. So who do you think, in your personal opinion, would you say Muppets or Sesame Street?
I'm going to go with Sesame Street because I think strategically with what I could bring, with if I was like managing this thing on my end, I feel like I could win. I mean, I don't know. It's hard to say, but yeah, I feel like Cookie Monster with Big Bird. And putting in Oscar the Grouch trash can.
Off, I guess, and just throw his trunk around and shit.
Yeah, I do. I'm going Sesame Street. I'm going to go Sesame Street.
Wow. My oh my, where's my pen? Hold on a second. I gotta add this to the tally. I'm all in on Muppets. I am, just like everybody said there. Animal going fucking nuts. I mean, the Swedish Chef, totally, that adds a little bit to it. There's also dude, something tells me those old dudes that would sit up in the balcony of the theater, I feel like those guys got some like mafia ties or something, where, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like they can fucking hit someone off like real quick. And
very true.
Like, they always look so serious and shit like that whenever they're watching the show. And and what TMI podcast said about Miss Piggy. Like, if somebody were to hurt Kermit, Miss Piggy,
true.
like we've seen her go fucking bonkers. Yeah. Like, she just loses her shit like a snap of a finger.
I was underestimating Miss Piggy, but that's true, dude. If Miss Piggy pissed off, would be a problem. That's true.
Like, she comes off so sweet, Miss Piggy. Like, it's just the name, Miss Piggy. Like, it just comes off so sweet and innocent, but then like she's just like hardcore at the end, I feel like.
Yeah, dude. Somebody fucks with Kermit, she's gonna be a problem. That's true. That's
the Swedish Chef has the fucking cleavers and shit like that. I was just chopping up shit.
Yeah, damn, dude, you're making me. I'm sticking with Sesame Street, but I'm forgetting about the chef. I forgot about the cleavers, and I forgot about Miss Piggy. So I'm not feeling as confident now. I feel like Big Bird
you have the two guys in the balcony. Their names Statler and Waldorf. I mean, look at these two guys. They would kick someone's fucking ass. Like, look at that angry eyebrow that guy
dude,
has.
They're fucking old, dude. They ain't kicking nobody's ass.
I don't know, man. I'm telling you, mafia ties. Definitely take me as some mafia guys.
Yeah, they're fucking got connections to fucking kick somebody's ass. They got connections,
all right. Between that guy's eyebrows and the other dude's mustache, it is done. That was a fucking fun one.
That was a very good question of the week.
What do you think? Next week we do the Flintstones and the Jetsons?
Oh, I don't even think that'd be fair, dude. It's too different. You
think the Jetsons have too much like futuristic?
Yeah, dude.
And
I mean, it's not. Yeah, it ain't. It's not hand to hand, dude. If they can use their shit, then they'll fucking annihilate the Flintstones. They don't have the technology, man. It's like Independence Day, dude. It's like just shooting the rockets at the fucking ship when they had them shields up. Just can't do shit.
Shit.
Yeah, dude, that wouldn't even be a contest. I don't think.
I know.
Like, if you're saying hand to hand, then I'll give you Flintstones. But if they're able to use their shit, dude, yeah, that Jetsons would fucking roll that.
I'll have to think of some others. But that was fun. That was
a good one.
That was good fun. So I mean, in the end, we have, unless Luke changes his mind, we have 4 Muppets. I'm sorry, we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Muppets against 2 Sesame Street. 9-2.
Damn.
A lot of those said animal too. That's the reason why. That fucking psychopath on the drums.
Yeah, it's true.
Love it.
I mean, if there's anything to take away from this episode, always
don't mess with a drummer.
Don't mess with a drummer. Have water and don't appear drugged out to approach somebody for a ride. And if you want to lay out and get a suntan, no matter what size you are, you go right the fuck ahead. I'm
fucking
still
right.
Like taken back, but that's the gym of the road.
Right, dude. Exactly, man. You said it best, guys. If you want to join the Discord, like we talked about at the top of there, the link will be in the description of this episode. Go to the show notes, join, come have a good time. We're all posting pictures of our days. We're all having chats about our days. I even had a question, something that came up on my diet I've never seen before. I posted it to the questions about work server we have, and the community joined in. Let me know, like, hey, this is what happens when that happens. And I had no idea. My boss had no idea. I messaged my supervisors, like, I've never seen that before. It's great. Message the Discord. They were like, we know what's going on. So we got you. So guys, come join the Discord channel. Click the link in the bottom of this description of the episode. You can find it in the show notes. If you want to become a Patreon member, AITD, patreon.com/AITDpod. Come join the Patreon family. Guys, this has been awesome here. Thank you guys so much for joining us. I am Dave, my co-host Luke. Everybody, see you all next week.
Later, everybody.